Olivia Newton-John dies on this day. Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is August 8th, 2023. It is the 220th day of the year. You got 145 days left. It is the 32nd Tuesday of 2023 in the 32nd week and the 49th day of summer. You got 46 days left until fall. I gotta tell you, I'm a little bummed out. I got all psyched to talk about Stand By Me, the movie. Then I realized I covered it last year. Such an incredible movie. I have plans to go to all the filming locations. It was filmed here in Oregon in the next few weeks for my other channel, the big channel. And I'll tell you up front, I was really reaching when it came to the whole movie and premiere section of this video. But let's press on. Today is National Dollar Day. National Dollar Day is observed annually on August 8th in the United States. This observance marks an important event in the history of the country when the monetary system was established. Isn't it strange these days we hardly ever have dollars in our pocket? It's all on a card now. We got homeless people all over the place here in Oregon, and they always, they want you to give money. They stand by your car and want money, but it's like, I never have money. Nobody does. Times are tough to be homeless in this world, I guess it was always tough to be homeless. It's a little more tough than it was 30 years ago. A little tougher, I should say. All right, let's see what else August 8th has given us. 1794, Joseph Whidbey leads an expedition to search for the Northwest Passage near Juneau, Alaska. The early days of this country and this continent, really, with all these explorers going places, they had next to nothing supply-wise compared to what we have today. I'm surprised any of them made it. 1834, 400 Shawnee people agree to relinquish their land in Ohio in exchange for land west of the Mississippi. This is one of the many, many treaties that happened around this time, with the different groups deciding to give up all their land. 1876, Thomas Edison receives his patent for the mimeograph. If you don't know what a mimeograph is, a mimeograph machine is a low-cost duplicating machine that works by forcing ink through a stencil onto paper. We had one when I was in high school. My freshman or sophomore year, they still had a print shop. You used to have wood shop, auto shop, things like that. Well, we had a print shop. I'm sure it has something to do with the newspaper that was like a mile away from my high school. I don't know if other high schools had it. Let me know in the comment section below. Did you have a print shop? But it was all about setting type, mimeograph machines, basically the newspaper business, at least the production of the newspaper. They got rid of it probably my sophomore year. So I had it my freshman year and they got rid of it my sophomore year because it was obsolete. I mean, it'd probably been obsolete for about 5 or 6 years by the time I took one of the last classes in it. 1903, Black Saturday occurs, killing 12 in a stadium collapse in Philadelphia. Now, this is one of many events that have been known as Black Saturday over the years. Most recently, in 2009, Australia had some really bad brush fires that they call that day Black Saturday. There was also a Black Saturday that happened in 1547, and it was a battle fought between the Scottish and the English Royal Armies. But the one we're talking about is a stadium collapse at a Major League Baseball game on August 8th, 1903, during a doubleheader between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Braves, who at the time were in Boston. Then eventually they went to Milwaukee, and then they ended up in Atlanta. Anyway, 2 drunk men were walking along 15th Street adjacent to the park and were being teased by a group of children. One of the men allegedly grabbed a 13-year-old girl by the hair named Maggie Berry. After a brief struggle, he fell on top of her. Accounts of the incident say that the cries for help from the girl and her friends drew the attention of spectators in the stadium above. Approximately 300 people crowded the balcony above the street to get a view of the commotion. Under the weight of the curious onlookers, the overloaded balcony supports apparently became detached from their connection to the wall and plunged about 30 feet to the street below. Close to 100 people were taken to the hospital with various injuries and broken bones. Of the 12 people killed, 6 were crushed from the weight of other people. 1 possibly had a heart attack, and there were some fractured skulls. Whenever you see something like this, I always look at it like, oh, that's good. It's good that it happened, because there's always laws passed to make everywhere safer when something like this happens. I brought it up just recently about how there was this dance hall, and I think in Louisiana, and the people would sit outside and look in the window and watch the people dance, then they'd dance in the parking lot because they didn't want to pay the 10 cents to come in. So the owners boarded up the windows and locked and chained all the doors except for one exit so people couldn't sneak in or watch the people from the outside. Well, a fire broke out. Everyone rushed for the door that would only open inward to the dance hall, but the crush of people made it so they couldn't open up the door. So now you can never have doors chained. There always has to be fire exits, and doors always open outward to wherever the people may be. 1969, at a zebra crossing in London, photographer Ian McKellen takes the iconic photo that becomes the cover image of the Beatles' album Abbey Road. 1974, President Richard Nixon, in a nationwide television address, announces his resignation from the office of the President of the United States, effective noon the next day. That would be the deep dive, but we talked about it last year and the year before. It was the deep dive. 1988, the first night baseball game in the history of Chicago's Wrigley Field takes place. Yeah, they never had lights. It was only daytime baseball at Wrigley Field where the Cubs play. Interesting fact, the game was actually rained out in the fourth inning. 1989 Space Shuttle Program, STS-28 mission. Space Shuttle Columbia takes off on a secret 5-day military mission to space. That's usually when they put up satellites. I had a friend, well, he wasn't a friend, I didn't like him, but he worked on satellites in Southern California. Actually, I don't even remember his name now, but he said that they would arrange this satellite, and they'd always have these one areas where they'd say, okay, it has to have this connection, this connection, this connection, and they'd be all, well, what's going there? And they're all, don't worry about it, just build it like this. So there'd be like a little box area where they weren't supposed to put anything, just it's a vacant place and it has these plugs. Well, then when they'd finished assembling the satellite, they would get like a week off and told not to come into the office. And when they come into the office like a week later, the satellite was still there, but it was all connected and closed off and all that stuff. 2004, a tour bus belonging to the Dave Matthews Band dumps approximately 800 pounds of human waste on a boat full of passengers. Guess it was going over a bridge or something. 800 pounds. How do you recover from that? I mean, mentally. There's not enough showers or therapy to really work you through that one. 2007, an EF2 tornado touches down in King County and Richmond County, New York, the most powerful tornado in New York to this date, and the first in Brooklyn since 1889. There's absolutely no good movies or TV shows or even albums that came out on this day, so this is the best I got for you, which I do find kind of interesting. Alpha House premiered on this date in 2020. This is a social media collaboration mansion co-founded by influencer Adam Cohen. The group has amassed more than 90,000 followers on their official TikTok account, so they weren't the first, they were another copycat. This is something that's really big in social media, YouTube, whatever, that when someone does something, then you got a bunch of people just copying it. So I don't even know who the first one was to do this, but they basically rented a house and got a bunch of other, let's say, YouTube creators and did like a reality TV thing. The sad thing is, these things started getting more views than shows like Big Brother that were on CBS or whatever. They're like blowing them out of the water some weeks. But this is how it is in YouTube social media. Right now, there's got to be, 20 people basically copying what me and Nick Johnson do on the other big channel. So yeah, that's all they have on Premier's Day, and that's a sad day for entertainment, let me tell you that. Born on August 8, 1937, Dustin Hoffman, renowned method actor who won the Academy Award for Best Actor in Kramer vs. Kramer in 1979, Rain Man in 1988, and he had his breakthrough role as Benjamin Braddock in the 1967 classic The Graduate. I love The Graduate. He was in Midnight Cowboy, Tootsie, and All the President's Men. I don't think there's many movies Dustin Hoffman did that sucked. He began his acting career at the Pasadena Playhouse with his roommate and fellow actor Gene Hackman. They were renting a room from Robert Duvall. His debut film was 1967's The Tiger Makes Out. Now, interesting thing about the movie The Graduate. There's a movie called Rumor Has It. It stars Shirley MacLaine, Jennifer Aniston, Kevin Costner, Mark Ruffalo, Mina Savari's in it, but it is just a great movie. So the guy who wrote The Graduate is in real life is from the Pasadena area. Well, Jennifer Aniston is a young girl in her 30s that grew up in Pasadena, and she starts to realize things in her family's history mimic The Graduate. That's a good movie, though. If you ever want to watch that, it doesn't get dirty or anything like that, so just watch it with your family if you want. Good movie. died on August 8th. 2022, just last year, we lost Olivia Newton-John. If you're a man born in the 1960s or 70s, I'm sure at one point you had a crush on Olivia Newton-John. I did after I saw Grease. When I was young, she was just so attractive. I mean, blonde hair, beautiful face, that Australian accent. Anyway, she was a multi-Grammy Award-winning actress and singer who gained fame in Grease and released a double platinum album, Physical. She sold over 100 million records and released over 10 top 10 Billboard Hot 100 singles. She performed in an all-girl group called Soul 4 with 3 of her classmates during their teen years. In 1992, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. She fought it, won, and then it was announced in 2017 that her breast cancer had returned. It had spread to her lower back. Originally, she was diagnosed as having sciatica. After they announced it in 2017, she said no, this was actually the 3rd round, not the 2nd round with cancer. She had had it in 2013, but chose not to tell the public. Olivia Newton-John died on August 8, 2022 at the age of 73 at her home in Santa Ynez Valley, California. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a great day, and be nice to each other.